All right. Good evening, everybody, or good morning or good afternoon for the folks dialing in from different time zones. This is T.Gray welcoming each and every one of you to Team Elite TV, our 82nd episode.
82nd?
Can you do that, Marsha? Episode 82.
Wow, that's incredible. That's crazy.
Absolutely.
I've been here that long.
Absolutely bananas, right? I mean, and this, I know we've got some guests on tonight from different places, but I just want to let you guys know this is a service that we provide to our team members all over the world to make sure that everybody stays educated, encouraged, and knows exactly what to do in order to be successful in building their business. First, before we get started in tonight's very special episode, I want to introduce you to one of our leaders, one of our co-hosts, tonight, a Sapphire executive and our Jeunesse team, none other than Marsha Terry. What's up, Marsha?
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Team Elite TV, episode number 82. This is going to be a great episode. I'm excited to be here. I can't even believe I've been here this long because it only seems like a blink. So get your notebooks ready, your pens ready. Let's do this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Marsha, thank you so much for helping me open the episode. I know that you're probably going to be blanking out as we get into this. So definitely want to just say thank you so much for being here with us. And I want to say thanks to everybody all over who is, who's watching tonight. I'm getting text messages from team members, text messages from friends who got an invitation to jump on tonight to this very special episode. As a matter of fact, we're going to do something for those of you who've been watching Team Elite TV every week. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight. We're going to skip all the announcements and all the promos for our business. And we're going to go ahead and jump right in to our episode, which you can see the title on your screen right now. It says How to Be Successful in Life. How to Be Successful in Life. And I'll tell you what, guys, let's talk a little bit about the reason for this episode. We're getting close to the end of the year, right? I mean, here we are. It's the beginning, or actually now it's the middle of the month of November. And every year, my mentors have taught me that right about now is when you start putting together your plan for the next year. You start reviewing your progress for the current year, and you start putting together your plan for the next year. And of course, that's one of the things that separates the highly successful from the average and the ordinary. Average and ordinary people, what they tend to do is they don't think about the new year until January 1st or New Year's Eve when they start making resolutions. But super successful people, what they do is they start thinking about it months before. And, I have a group of people that I'm coaching, and I even think about myself, and I'm like, you know what? It's time to review where we've succeeded versus, compared to our goals for the year, and where we have, where we're missing the mark. And I just realized that so many people, they really want success, but they don't know how to get it. And so I really want to share some things tonight that I think are going to help absolutely everyone, no matter what you do, whether you're part of our Jeunesse team, whether you're in some other network marketing company and you're watching this, or whether you're not in network marketing at all. You want to succeed, you want to go to different levels at your job or your other business or in family or whatever, personally, what you're going to hear tonight is going to be absolutely helpful. If you're watching on the YouTube link, and if you want to chat, you can actually do that if you're watching in YouTube. Some of you guys are watching from our Team Elite training website, which is absolutely great. If you click on the video enough times, there's usually a thing on the corner, the bottom corner, that allows you to watch it in YouTube. And if you watch it in YouTube, YouTube has a live chat feature, and I have my tablet over here. So if you are watching it on YouTube and you give me commentary, I can be responsive to that. I want to welcome people who are watching. I want to welcome Maria from Houston. Good to see that you're on. I want to welcome Winnie from Jamaica. Way to go. I want to welcome my brother, Corey. What's happening, Corey? Glad that you were able to get on, and so many other people who are watching this episode live. Now, okay, so somebody might say, well, T.Gray, what qualifies you to do a topic and do a talk on how to be successful in life? And I just want to start by saying, guys, you know what? I don't have it all together. I really don't. I don't have, you know, all the success in life that I personally would like to have. There are areas of my life where I personally continue to struggle to get them to another level. You know, I have to kind of keep going back to the drawing board to figure out, okay, what is it that I'm, you know, what is it that I'm not doing that's keeping me on this, keeping me from achieving the plan, you know, that kind of stuff. So I just want you guys to, you know, I'm not coming from the standpoint of, hey, I've got it all together, let me tell you the secret sauce. But that said, I've had quite a bit of success in life, right? You know, for those of you who don't know my story, I grew up in the projects in the South Bronx of New York City. And even though I was academically strong, I never got the opportunity to go to college. Now, I had a partial scholarship lined up to one of the top Ivy League schools, and I had a full scholarship lined up to one of the top military academies. But I wasn't able to do that because my family broke up around that time, and I'm the oldest of four, and I had to help my mom. And that's okay because, you know what, I learned some skills. I went to secretarial school, and I learned some skills about things I could do with my hand, like type. And I learned, you know, kind of how to think in business, and that really served me. I got my first job as a secretary, right? I was an executive assistant to the senior vice president of a small advertising agency. And within 3 months, I was promoted. Why? Because of my work ethic, because of the way I showed up every single day, because I did my work quickly, because I did my work accurately, and I had lots of questions. I showed that I was curious. I showed that I was interested. And in the 5 years that I worked for that company, I got promoted 4 times. And then when I left that company, I was hired away to one of the top news weekly magazines in America. And my first year working there, I tripled what I was earning the year before, right? And I worked for that company for 3 years, and they had me on track for management. But you know what? I got hired away to one of the top internet companies during the internet explosion. And in that company, you know, I averaged insane money, right? As a matter of fact, on a W-2 basis, where for those of you watching in America, that's a job income basis. You know, I had a year where I even earned 7 figures, over $1 million on my W-2, right? So I was very, very successful in corporate business. And then I decided, you know what, I want to be an entrepreneur. So I left that and I got into the industry of network marketing. And I took that industry very seriously and I worked really hard at it. And you know what, I achieved the equivalent of diamond in one company, which is a top rank. You know, most companies have a top rank called diamond. I achieved the equivalent of that in one particular company that I was in. And then after that company kind of subsided, I joined another company. And by the way, I was with that company for 5 years. And then I joined another company and I was with that company for 5.5 years. And I became one of their top diamonds in not just in North America, but in the world where they operated. So diamond, or the diamond equivalent, in 2 different companies. And for those of you that know, I'm in a network marketing company now where I'm literally 2 steps away from the diamond rank. So been able to achieve diamond in 2 different companies and almost now a 3rd. But then I've also expanded my entrepreneurial endeavors to where I'm doing, to where I have several companies of my own that I'm working with people to develop, and several businesses of my own that I'm working with people to develop. And things are coming along quite nicely. You know, things are going to be rocking for us because of the foundation that we've been able to lay over the last 2 years. So very soon we'll be able to say successful in 3 different aspects of business. And so, and in the process of doing that, I've been able to travel all over the world and meet all sorts of great people and develop incredible relationships with different people and coach people who are having their own success in different ventures as well. So even though I personally haven't achieved the full level of success that I'm personally striving for, I've been able to achieve a level of success that is greater than what many people have. And the best gift that I can give is to share the things that I've learned from all of my mentors and the books that I've read and the videos and stuff that I've watched and the things that people have poured into me. Tonight, I want to share some of those things with you, because here's what I've learned. I've learned that no matter where people are in the world, whether they're young or they're old, male or female, no matter what the color of their skin is, everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to live an amazing life. Everybody wants to be able to go to another level, but very few people actually accomplish that. Most people just struggle and struggle and struggle, and they don't know why they can't get to where they want to go. And so tonight we're going to talk about that because, you know, most people, and let me just ask you guys, I see people are discovering ways to communicate with me, which is awesome, right? I love it when people do that. We've got people who are communicating, who have figured out how to do the live chat on YouTube, and I've got people Facebooking me and text messaging me, which is absolutely awesome. I got Winnie from Jamaica. She says she's glad to be on. Glad to see you on, Winnie. We got Veronica from the United Kingdom is on. Astris is on. What's up, Astris Bell? Happy birthday. You had a birthday this week. Way to go. Kimberly from Jamaica's on. Nick is on from Jamaica as well. Eliza from California is on. My good buddy Annette from right here in H-Town, Texas is on. So we got all these great people who are on it. I want you guys to stay with me. And if you hear something that resonates with you, I want you to shoot me a message in the moment and say, hey, T.Gray, you know what? That makes sense. That's me. Or that blessed me. That was good for me. But here's the thing. So many people are not where they want to be. They're not where they thought they would be. I mean, let me ask you a question. Are you where you thought you would be by this time in your life, right? It's crazy because, you know, I woke up early today and I worked out and I got myself ready and I actually thought about what we were going to talk about tonight, how to be successful in life, and started putting down my notes. And I went to church, and guess what? The pastor was talking about the very same thing. It was like he was reading my notes, talking about people feeling stuck, right? And so I want to challenge you guys, don't settle for mediocre. Tonight, we're going to show you how to get ahead. So let's go ahead and jump into our topic for tonight, which is how to succeed in life. And we're going to go ahead and talk about our first thing. And our first thing is this. You got to know what you want. Write that down, folks. You got to know what it is that you want, what it is that you want to achieve, where it is that you want to go and take your life. And here's the key thing. Don't settle for less. Don't shrink down the size of your dream. Don't allow anything to take you off of that track. Instead, we have to learn to stay focused on what we want. And this is really the first place where many people fail to be successful in life. They don't know what they want. They've never taken the time to sit down and say, what exactly is it that I really want? You see, nobody actually gets, achieves success until they're very clear on what it is that they want, what it is that they absolutely must have, and what it is that they absolutely cannot go to the grave without achieving. So you've got to identify that. You've got to identify that. Maria's messaging me because, she would go to the same church and she said, yeah, that's right. That's what the pastor said today. Exactly. And you know what? One of the things that he said that I thought was really powerful is if you don't have a clear vision for what it is that you want, then others are going to have a clear vision for you. Meaning that you're going to become part of somebody else's vision and you'll live your life helping other people achieve their dreams and their goals, and you'll never achieve what it is that you want for yourself and for your family, right? So the first step to being successful in life is you gotta know exactly what it is that you want. You gotta be super clear on that. And as you go through your life, once you're clear, then you need to keep checking the map, right? You gotta keep checking your progress. You gotta keep checking to see if you actually are moving toward that goal. And what you're gonna find is that you're gonna be off target. You're gonna drift to the left. You're gonna drift to the right. And that you have to keep reevaluating. You're gonna have to keep readjusting so that you can actually progress towards your goal, okay? Now, once you're clear on what you want and where it is you wanna go, part of what you're gonna have to do is to minimize the distractions, right? Because people are gonna come at you with all sorts of things. Hey, come do this, come do that, come be a part of this, come be a part of that. And those may be things that will help you achieve your goal, but they also might be things that will take you away from your goals. And you'll find that you're now off track by a year, 2 years, 3 years, fiddling around with things that are not harmonious with what it is that you want to achieve. So you got to make sure that you're clear on it and that you minimize the distractions to what it is that you want to achieve. Okay, so that's our first thing. You got to know exactly what it is that you want to achieve, and you got to stay focused on it, and you have to keep checking to make sure that you're making progress toward that goal. Okay, now while you're checking, that brings us to number 2, our second thing that we need to talk about today, which is keeping it real. Okay, if you want to be successful in life, you got to keep it real, or as the young people say, you got to keep it 100, right? Or as they say in the hood, you got to keep it 100, right? So you got to keep it real. You got to learn to be very, very real. Now, who are we keeping it real with? You got to keep it real with yourself. That is the most important thing, right? The easiest person for us to lie to, the easiest person for us to delude is ourselves. Almost everybody does this, right? It's how we end up overweight. You know, this is one of the personally, it's one of the areas of struggle that I have, right? And you know how I end up overweight? I ended up overweight a little bit at a time. It doesn't happen overnight. You don't wake up 25, 30, 40 pounds overweight, right? Could you imagine? We'd be horrified. No, it happens a little bit. It happens a little bit at a time. And what do we say to ourselves? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I still have time, right? So we keep lying to ourselves. We don't keep it real, right? We buy a little bit bigger clothes. We buy a little bit bigger clothes. We buy a little bit bigger clothes. And we say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And we're lying to ourselves, and we never accomplish the goal. And we wake up, you know, and then next thing you know, you look up and you're way overweight. Now you have a huge, you know, margin that you have to adjust for. And that's because we don't keep it real with ourselves. One of the things that we do is very often we will have an inflated sense of accomplishment, an inflated sense of accomplishment. We will overestimate in our mind what it is that we've done, what it is that we've accomplished. And what that does is it creates a false sense of complacency, right? Now, to test this theory, you know, one of the things that I did is, you know, just before this training, I said, let me go add up how much money I've made this year. Now, prior to doing that, I had one figure in my mind. I'm like, this is definitely where I'm at. But you know what? When I actually added it up, you know what? It was actually a little bit less, right? It was still a great number, but it wasn't what I thought. Because why? Because every single one of us is guilty of this. We overinflate, you know, our sense of accomplishment, right? And so what we need to do is we've got to learn to be self-aware. Please write that down. Self-awareness is a trait of champions. Self-awareness. You got to, you know, if you're an Olympic runner, you just have to know how fast you run. End of story. If you're Michael Phelps, Olympic swimmer, you have to know how fast you swim. You can't leave it to chance. You got to know, right? And the same thing in life. You got to take inventory of where you are. You got to take inventory of what you're accomplishing and what you're not accomplishing. And you need to actually write it down so that you can see it. You know, write it down so that you're dealing with facts. What have you done? What have you accomplished, right? Write it down and then actually sit down and review it with someone who can give you objective feedback, not biased feedback, but objective feedback. Somebody who can keep it real with you. All right. So one way that you can keep it real, if you really want to be successful in life, you got to be able to take honest inventory, write it down, be self-aware. What are you good at? What are you not so good at? What have you accomplished? Where are you missing? Where are you struggling? Where are you doing great? Write it down so you can see it. That's going to make you be honest, right? Because it's hard to write down BS. And then sit down and review it with somebody who can help you objectively work through it. Okay. This is a real challenge for some people because, you know, their self-awareness exercise, you know, seems like it robs their psyche of of their sense of self-worth. And that's not really the intent of this exercise. It's really to show you where you are. It's like when you go to the mall and you've never been there before and you want to go to a store that you've never been to before, you go to the directory map and you know what you got to do? The first thing you got to realize is, where are you? You got to find the spot that says you are here, because if you can't identify where you are, you can't get to going where you want to be, right? So that's all this exercise is going to do, is going to help you to identify where you are. Now, in this concept of keeping it real, another thing that you got to do is you have to take ultimate responsibility for your life. So often what we do is we give that away, right? We give away responsibility for our happiness. We give away responsibility for our state of mind. We give away responsibility for our success and our failure to other people. Actually, let me take that back, because sometimes what we want to do is we want to keep responsibility for our success. We want to say, yeah, I did that. But when it comes to our failures, we don't want to own that, right? That we want to give away. Listen, guys, the world is going to change for you when you take responsibility for it all. The good, the bad, and the ugly. When it's all your fault, then guess what? Now you are empowered. You are no longer a victim. You're now in a place where not only do you own the end result, you end the solutions that get you to that end result. So if you've been failing, you know what? Look inward. Where are the places where I'm causing myself to fail? If you're not happy, look inward and say, where are the places where my actions are resulting in me being unhappy? And claim it all. And now what happens is you're no longer a victim. Somebody else can't make you happy or unhappy. Someone else can't, mess with your state of mind. Someone else can't cause you to fail. And someone else can't take credit for your success, because you now own it all. If you're going to be successful, you got to get to that very, very real place where you own it, and it's not somebody else's fault, and it's not someone else's responsibility. Okay, great. Now let's take it to the next level. You guys ready? You guys ready? Give me some feedback. Let me know how we're doing. Okay, those of you who are texting me, those of you who are texting me or YouTube messaging me or Facebooking, let me know how we're doing. But we're going to go to this next point, which is this. You have to believe in something or someone that is bigger than you are. You got to believe in something bigger than you, right? This is so important, that you believe in something bigger than you or someone bigger than you, because it'll keep you grounded, and it'll also help contribute to your sense of purpose, right? Because, what happens, what I personally have found is that whenever I get away from that, I feel very alone, right? And sometimes I even feel like I have nobody in my corner. But when you have this, whether it's God or the universe, I'm not going to enforce my beliefs or views on you. I personally believe in God, right? Some people don't believe in God, but they believe that there's a universal higher power and that wants to see you successful. It's just great to know that someone bigger than you, something bigger than you are, is in your corner. And that if you line up with the success principles that are set up, guess what? You can now line up with that and achieve the success that's out there for you. It helps to keep you accountable, right? Because just think about it for a second. Let's just take, like teenagers for a second. Parents, it's our responsibility to check our teenagers, to shape their philosophy. But who's checking us as parents, right? Now that you're grown, now that you're an adult, who are you accountable for? How do you make sure that you're thinking the right thing, right? Because see, we tell our kids, hey, I've lived more life than you. Well, who's out there or what's out there that has a bigger perspective than you that you can check your point of view against, right? So believing in something or someone bigger than you are gives you a place to spot check or course check your philosophy to make sure that you're in the right place. I've actually met and come across some people who, they really believe that their opinion, their philosophy is the be all to end all. And as they spew so many things that are just totally out of line with anything that, you know, that I've learned or that I've been educated in, I'm just like, wow, this is just insane. And I feel sorry for that person because I just know that they're not going to be able to achieve the level of success and happiness that they want until they, you know, shake that point of view, or until that point of view is lifted from them, right? So many times, you know, just think, you know, I think about when I used to play golf a lot, and, you know, I had learned to hold the club a certain way, and it resulted in me, you know, hitting some very bad shots. And then I decided to take lessons. And the first thing that this golf pro, who had a bigger perspective of golf than I did, had to do was reteach me. I had to relearn how to hold the golf club because I was holding it wrong. And so many times in life, we're holding on to a wrong philosophy. We're holding on to a wrong set of beliefs that's causing our shots to go the wrong way. And we need to find a higher perspective, an expert perspective, to help us correct, you know, the way that we're approaching life, right? So I challenge you, believe in something or someone that is bigger than you are, okay? All right, let's see what this next one is as we continue to progress through how we can be successful in life. All right, I really like this one. All right, and this next one here is to be predictable. Be predictable. So on the screen here is Batman, right? You see he's standing on the tower and he's looking at the bat signal, right? Now, if you're familiar with the comic Batman, anytime the city was in trouble, there was a mega villain that was trying to destroy Gotham City. You know, anytime things looked hopeless and they needed a hero, they would turn on the bat signal. And the bat signal, once it was lit, shortly afterwards, Batman would come and he would save the day, right? It was predictable. Turn on the bat signal, here comes Batman. Let me ask you this question. Are you somebody that other people can count on? Are you predictable? Can people count on you in life? Can they count on you in business? You know, and by the way, where did Gotham City get the bat signal from? Batman gave it to him. He said, whenever you need me, light this up, I'll be there, right? So can people count on your word? When they hit the signal like you told them to, do you show up and do you produce? Whether we're talking about your marriage, whether we're talking about your kids, whether we're talking about your business partners, whether we're talking about your job, are you predictable? Are you someone that other people can actually count on? Now, when you're this kind of person, guess what you do? You finish what you start, right? You know, for example, many of the people watching this, they're in network marketing. Some of you guys are in my company and in my organization. Some of you guys are in someone else's company. But here's what I see over and over and over again now through 20 years of network marketing. People sign up and say, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And they start, and then they don't finish. And the worst thing about it is not only do they not finish, they flat out disappear. They just go dark. They just become unresponsive. They stop responding to text messages. They stop showing up at meetings. They stop returning phone calls. They disappear out of the Facebook group. They exit without even announcing their exit. They're not man enough or woman enough to say, hey, this project no longer has synergy for me. I'm going to move on. You know, I have respect. I can literally count on one hand the number of people in 20 years that when they decided, hey, I'm moving on, They actually picked up the phone and said, hey, listen, I want to thank you for the time that you invested in me, but I'm moving on. I'm going to go do something else, or I'm just not going to do this anymore. And here's why. But most people, they don't do that, or they pull the ripcord, they quit too soon. They don't communicate. Communication is the elixir of relationships, whether they be interpersonal relationships or business relationship. Communication is what makes it go smooth. Letting people know, not having people read your mind. Hey, here's where I am. Here's what I'm doing. Here's where I'm going next. Here's why I'm doing what I'm doing. For example, everybody on my leadership team, guess what they knew? They knew what the topic of tonight's training was going to be this morning around 10 a.m. They knew, posted in our leadership chat group. Hey guys, this is what we're doing tonight. This is what the topic is. Here's the links. Here's everything. Communication. And that's who we need to learn to be, guys. We need to learn to be people who communicate. There's no harm in over communicating, but under communicating is a crime. People can't read your mind, right? And so I want to challenge you guys to do that. Corey, thanks, man. He said that Batman thing was a perfect example, right? Okay. And then learning to commit, right? Learning to commit. Folks, I'll challenge you on this one. So many times people, we start what you finish. Well, a lot of times what happens is people will start a journey on a project, whether it's they're opening a new business, taking on a new job, a relationship, network marketing company. And here's what will happen. They want the success, but they don't follow it through. They're not really committed. And then they want to quit. And here's the thing you got to ask yourself. Did I do everything that I was supposed to do? Did I follow it through? Did I give it time? Did I give it a chance? For example, I joined our current company, Jeunesse. I joined Jeunesse last year. I got started building in March of last year. It's only been 1 year. I've got so many people trying to recruit me. Hey, come do this, come do that. And I say, no, it's only been 1 year, right? Because I know that success in network marketing is a 3 to 5 year proposition if you really put in the work. It's longer if you don't. And so I've committed to the time frame. I've committed to the journey. And so I want to challenge you, if you're watching this, you got to commit. My partners and I, we've opened up several businesses. They don't start making money from day one. You have to commit to the process of getting them open. You got to commit to the process of developing them to the point where they start to throw off cash flow. You got to commit, right? And so that's one of the ways to be successful in life. You have to learn to be predictable. People need to be able to describe you as a person who commits and who finishes what she starts, or finishes what he starts, who does what you say, do what you say. One of the things that I find most frustrating in business, no matter what kind of business it is that this world is short on people who do what they say, when they say they're going to do it, and who say what they mean. It's rare. It's like there's that group of people who do what they say and say what they mean, and they do it when they say they're going to do it. And then there's just everybody else, right? And you find all those people at the top are the ones those are the folks that if they say they're going to do something, they go ahead and they do it, right? You want to be that person. Discipline yourself. Now, here's the thing. It can be easy to do what you say when you say you're going to do it, when it's easy. But what about when you find out that what you said you were going to do is difficult? What about when you find out that what you signed up for is a little bit more challenging than you thought it was going to be? Right? Now, who are you? Are you predictable? Are you still somebody that other people can count on? Are you somebody that you can count on? You see, and by the way, this leads to depression. A lot of times our depression, a lot of times we get in a funk, it's self-induced. Why? Because we don't feel good about ourselves. And why don't we feel good about ourselves? Because we know that we have become someone that people can't count on. You can't even count on yourself. And because you know that about yourself, you feel bad about yourself. How could you possibly be proud of yourself if you're a person that other people can't count on? If you don't do what you say you're going to do, if you don't finish what you start, if you don't communicate and you know that you should, of course you're going to feel like crap. And what does that do? Now you're in a negative state and it breeds more negativity, right? And so this is such an important point. Got to learn to be upfront with people. And like I said, to communicate. But I will tell you this, if you don't learn this, it's going to cost you opportunities that you don't even know about. Because when people talk about you, here's how you'll be described. Flaky. They'll say, she's flaky. He's flaky. They'll use words like flighty, right? A person who changes their mind as the wind blows. And it's going to cost you opportunities because you won't even get the phone call to come and do X, Y, and Z. But you know what? Here's what happens when opportunities come up and people need to build teams. Here's what we do. We start thinking, okay, who do we need on this team? Who can we put on this team? Who do we want to invite into this particular project? And I've seen it. I've been in conversations where people say, no, not that one, not him, not her. Man, they said they were going to do X, Y, Z. They still haven't done it. Or they did this, or they did that, or they failed to do this, or they failed to do that. No, we don't need to bring them in on this project, right? So when I challenge you, you want to make sure that you become someone that is predictable, that other people can depend on, because then when opportunities come up, you now become the person that they're going to call. When your company is looking for, the company that you work for is looking at who they're going to promote to the next level, you got to be the person. Your reputation has to stand up behind closed doors when you're not there to defend yourself. They have to be able to say, okay, we've got this new spot that's open. Joe left the company. This Joe's job is available. He was a vice president. He was a supervisor, whatever. Who can we put in this job? They're going to be talking about you. You're not going to be there. Your reputation has got to be so strong that they say, hey, yeah, let's bring Mary into this role. Let's bring, Kim into this role. Let's bring Joe or Shannon into this role. Why? They're somebody we can count on. They've proven themselves already. We know that we can count on them to do a great job. We can give that person more responsibility. So that was our next point there, which was to be predictable. When they turn on the bat signal for you, can they count on you to come and to deliver? All right, now let's go to the next one. You guys ready? Here's the next one. The next one is learn from your mistakes. I love this picture. When I found this on the internet today, I was just absolutely hysterical, right? I mean, look at all of this crumpled paper. Now, let's kind of go backwards in time for a second. At one point in time, there was one piece of crumpled paper thrown toward the garbage. And then the person started again, made the same mistake again. Now another crumpled paper. And obviously they kept making the same mistake and the same mistake and the same mistake and the same mistake. So now the garbage can can't even hold any more crumpled paper. And the person is actually buried in crumpled paper. And you can't even see them anymore in this picture. Why? Because they kept making the same mistake over and over and over again and getting the same result. And if they expected a different result, we'd have to classify that person as insane. So we have to learn from our mistakes. Now, here's the thing. Mistakes in and of themselves aren't bad, right? Mistakes aren't bad. You can't go through life being afraid to make mistakes. You just can't keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. You got to learn from your mistakes. Mistakes are an important part of the process. Mistakes give us pressure to perform better the next time. And you got to learn to appreciate the purpose of pressure, right? Just think about it. Everybody loves diamonds, right? They say diamonds are a girl's best friend, right? And somebody gave you, if you think about the rappers, they talk about their Rolex, and what do? They get the Rolex and then they floss it out with what? Diamonds, right? Because diamonds make everything more valuable. But how do you get diamonds? You get diamonds by pressure. The mountain is just pressing down and pressing down and pressing down for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And what would otherwise be a lump of useless coal is now the most precious stone on the planet. A diamond. So pressure is important. Pressure is how you become diamond, whether that's a diamond in your network marketing company, a diamond of a dad, a diamond of a mom, you know, a diamond of a husband, a diamond of a wife, a diamond in your company that you work for, a diamond of a business owner, a diamond in your community. It comes from pressure. Don't run from pressure, right? Just because things get hard, don't run away. See, pressure is the opportunity for you to rise up and do better, right? Pressure exposes your flaws. See, another thing that's really valuable is gold, right? Someone gives you a gold bracelet. You go, wow, this is great. And then you scratch it to see if it's electroplate or if it's solid gold. And then you look at the little thing to see, okay, how many carats of gold is this? But you know how they make gold? They take the rock that they find the gold in and they heat it up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of degrees. And here's what happens. The gold liquefies. And all of the crap that's mixed in with the gold floats to the top because the gold is heavy and the crap is lighter. So it comes to the top. They call that dross. And what they do is they skim the dross or the crap off the top. And now when that gold hardens, that gold is more valuable. First time they do it, you got 12 karat gold. Now, if you want 14 karat gold, which is even more pure than 12 karat gold, what do? Well, you heat it up all over again. You liquefy it all over again. And remaining impurities come to the top and you skim it off the top and now you got 14 karat gold. What do you do if you want 24 karat gold? You do it again. You heat it up again. And guess what? All the crap comes to the top. You skim it off the top and now it's even more valuable. Every test that gold goes through, every time you heat it up and allow what's crappy to come to the top and given the opportunity to remove it, every time that you do, it becomes more valuable. I'm talking about you. Every test, every challenge in your life allows the crap in you to come to the top. And then you have a choice. Remove it. Improve yourself. And every time that you do, you become more valuable. But the challenge with so many people is this. They don't want to get any better. They want everybody around them to improve, but they don't want to get any better. They don't want to take responsibility for getting better. They want everybody to accept them as they are. And as life heats them up and their impurities come to the top, they want everybody to ignore it. They want to ignore it. You know, maybe that season of testing goes away and everything cools down, but those impurities are still there. So you have to learn from your mistakes. The pastor today said the seasons of your life were defined by the enemies, the hardships, the challenges that you're able to defeat and overcome. And then when you do that, you get to go to the next season. So I want to challenge everybody. You want to learn from your mistakes. This is something that weak people, this is something that people who stay poor, who stay middle class, who stay average, who are the underachievers of life, they don't want to do this. They don't want to learn from their mistakes. They keep making the same mistakes over and over again. How do you know? People have the same complaints about you over and over and over again for years now. All right, let's go to the next one. So how do you fix that? The next one is you have to seek wisdom and knowledge. Seek, it's an action word, and it means that you are proactively, you're not waiting for it to come to you. It means that on a Sunday night, like if you're on our team here, which we call Team Elite in our Jeunesse business, and your Jeunesse business isn't giving you the check that you want, you should be seeking the wisdom, seeking the knowledge. How do you do that? You come watch Team Elite TV every Sunday night. You turn off the TV. Some of you guys are watching this on our website. And if you're on our website, you'll see our website is chock full of resources, chock full of trainings and book suggestions, etc., that will help you to become more successful. Are you using that? Are you proactively looking for that kind of stuff? You see, here's what I've learned. The most successful people in this world, Don't keep it a secret. Everybody wants to share. They want to tell other people. See, because here's what happens. A lot of times, see, poor people, average people, middle-class people think wealthy, successful people don't want to tell anybody what they're doing. So they want to keep everybody else down. Nothing could be further from the truth. They don't have a scarcity mentality. They have an abundance mentality. They realize that the more people who are successful, the more money and wealth is in circulation, and that they're only going to get richer. So they put that information out there. But here's what they've said. You can hide success from poor people. All you got to do is put it in a book. They want to read it, right? So you got to get out there. You got to seek wisdom. You got to read the books. Mentors who are willing to share. You got to find the coaches who are willing to share, and then you got to stay close to them. See, this comes from a place of humility that says none of us knows it all. The knowledge is out there. We just have to go get it. You know, I think about one of the biggest failures in my life. I made a ton of money working for that internet company. And then within a few years, I had lost it all. And one of the reasons why is I didn't know what to do with it. Remember, I was the first successful person in my family. I didn't know what I didn't know. But I can't use that as an excuse, because at the end of the day, I wasn't smart enough or disciplined enough to go seek the knowledge and go find someone or something or reading the books about what I should do with all of this. See, that was my responsibility. I got to take responsibility for it. The same way you've got to take responsibility for yours. So you got to go out there and find it. You got to turn off the TV. You got to stop watching crap. I'm not saying you can't entertain yourself. You can't watch TV and movies, but you are what you eat. And you are what you eat the most. So what do you eat the most? What do you consume the most? You know what I love about 2016 when we're recording this video? I love that YouTube has turned into the largest library known to man. Anything you want to know, you can find it on YouTube. From how to change a faucet, how to fix a flat tire, to how to get rich, how to be successful, how to improve your family life, how to lose weight. It's all on YouTube. All you have to do is search, find, and watch the videos. It's very important. So I want you guys to learn how to subscribe. Like when you go to YouTube, start going to YouTube and trying to find the things that are going to help you to be successful. And when you find them, learn to subscribe to those channels. Go ahead and subscribe and then click the little icon so that you can get notifications. And then what that's going to do is it will send you an email every time that channel uploads a new video. So what happens is now the information that will help you to become successful starts looking for you. It starts coming to you every day. Hey, so-and-so uploaded a new video. This channel uploaded a new video, and it might just be the topic that you need in order to be successful. But the key thing is you've got to start this process, and you've got to seek the wisdom and the knowledge. It's out there. You know, one last thing before we go to the next one, you know, one of the things that I want to do is I really want to become even more astute in the economics of business. Guess what? I've gone online and I've searched. And guess what? I found ways to take the courses associated with a business economics and business finance degree online for like $50, $60 a month, right? So that's one of my goals. I'm going to put myself through that program, right? I'm going to put myself through that program because it's going to give me some wisdom. It's going to give me some knowledge that I don't already have. All right, let's see what people are saying. I've got so far, let's see, before we go to the next one, let's see what people are saying. I love these screenshots that Veronica is doing in her chat group here. She says, you know, be proactive, use the resources, have an abundance mentality, seek wisdom, read books. That's what I'm talking about. Way to go, Veronica, right? Astrus already said that she's on. Way to go. Kim, wow, look at this leadership chat here. I got folks saying all sorts of great stuff. Breakthrough out loud, take responsibility. Self-awareness is what Marsha's been reading about. Way to go. Powerful question. Can other people count on you? Right? Real talk. We love this. So guys, this is the stuff. This is the stuff that you need in order to be successful. I hope you guys are writing this down and not leaving your fortune to your memory. That's also very important. Learn to write things down. Okay. All right. Next one. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Okay. Including this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 to go. Here we go. Wow. This is a big one. Develop a success routine. I love this quote from Mariel Hemingway. She says, a daily ritual is a way of saying, I'm voting for myself. I'm taking care of myself. I'm voting for me, and I'm taking care of me. This is powerful. Develop a success routine. All right. What does this mean? It means you have to start living your life on purpose. Right? I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Groundhog Day. And in the movie Groundhog Day, the lead character, Bill Murray, he literally keeps living the same day over and over again. It's hysterical. And then it actually, as you watch the movie, becomes very frustrating. So many people feel that their life is like Groundhog Day. They go to work for, in a job that fulfillment that they want. They come home. They're tired and they're frustrated after sitting in traffic. You know, they're not making enough money. They're not spending enough time with their kids. They're not eating the foods that they want to eat. They watch some crappy TV. They go to bed. They wake up earlier than they want to the next day, and they do it all over and over and over again. And eventually it becomes Friday, and they get to live a little bit of their life over the weekend. But then Sunday afternoon, they start to get that sickness in their stomach because that says, oh my God, it's almost Monday. And then Monday starts the groundhog wheel again, right? The daily routine allows you to take control of your life by planning what's going to happen on your day that is going to help you achieve your goals and your purpose, right? The challenge with most people is that they don't wake up early enough to have this routine. So let me tell you a little bit about what I've learned to do. You know, every day I get up about 6 or 6:30, and that's when I get up. And, you know, I start drinking water. That's the first thing you want to put in your body. And then I go work out. I start moving, right? Because what that does is it wakes up my brain, right? You know, and sometimes it's a big workout, a big, strong, you know, workout, really push myself to the limits. And sometimes I'm not into it. And I'll just say to myself, okay, well, fine. I'm just going to choose a small goal. I'm just going to do the elliptical cross trainer, get on that thing for 20 minutes. You know, or 30 minutes. And the reason I do that is because I want to start the day with a victory. I want to start the day winning. You know, even if all you said to is, you know what, I'm going to get up 30 minutes earlier and I'm going to do 10 jumping jacks, 10 sit-ups, 10 squats, you know, 10 mountain climbers. And at the end of doing that, you're going to feel victorious and the blood will start moving through your body. And it requires you to pay attention. So it turns on your focus. It's a little thing, right? And a lot of times what happens is people, they get up in the morning and immediately they're into the text messages and the Facebook scrolling and the Instagram and the Snapchat. And what happens is now you're allowing yourself to be bombarded with input. I want to challenge you to protect your psyche first thing in the morning. Protect your mental space first thing in the morning. You know, I leave my phone on do not disturb through my entire workout so that nobody can call me, so that nobody can text me. Why? Because I'm in the bubble, and this is the time that I'm doing what? What did Mariel Hemingway said? I'm taking care of me. I'm voting for me. I'm taking care of me first thing in the morning to put myself in a place, in a state of mind where I can be successful. I want to challenge you to do that too, right? 90% of the time while I'm doing that, I'm listening to a YouTube video. Because remember, I got all these YouTube channels and I see so many videos. I can't even watch them all. So I created a playlist. And whenever I see a video that I'm like, man, that sounds like some good stuff. I want to know what this person's talking about. I think I could learn from them. I'll stick it in my channel, my playlist. And you know what? By the way, that playlist is called Exploding, right? And I have another playlist called Getting Fit, right? And that's where I put all the health and fitness stuff that I learn on YouTube that, you know, I want to apply in my life, you know? So, you know, I've got all these things and I'm listening to the YouTube video because a lot of times people are, you know, for example, right now, I know I have slides, but for the most part, you could actually come back to this and you can listen to this while you're on a treadmill. You can listen to this while you're doing a workout, right? And you have this in your head and you're thinking, and as you are working out and as you're listening, you're starting to think of ways that you can apply this. You're starting to get ideas. Sometimes it just totally sparks a left field idea of what you can do to achieve your goal. Guys, you want to have this success routine. And this, you know, repetition is the mother of skill. So doing it every single day is going to make you skillful and put you in a position where you can succeed on purpose, not by accident. So I want to challenge you to have this daily routine where you make putting yourself in a success state of mind first thing in the morning, every day, your priority. And don't let anybody interrupt you. Don't let anybody interrupt you. Protect your morning, get up early, and do this. And you're going to start to see some different things happen at your job. Different things happen in your family. Different things happen in your business. Okay, which brings us to the next one. I love this picture. This is this little doggy, right? He's just got his ears covered like, I don't want to hear it. I can't hear it. And this is where you need to protect yourself from negativity. You see, negativity is coming for you. It's on TV. It's in your house with your family. Your friends can be negative. It's on Facebook, right? Like fight videos. People fighting in the street. Why are we watching fight videos, people? Right? I'm not talking about the protest where people are protesting important issues in their life, but even that can be a lot of negativity if you're not careful. But I'm talking about these videos where you got two girls or two boys in high school or whatever, and they're just fighting and ripping each other's clothes off. I mean, who watches this crap? Right? You know, in business and in life period, one of the animals that is frequently used to symbolize success is the eagle, right? And the eagle is a majestic bird. It's a very special bird, and it flies high and it can see into the future. And eagles are very, very special. But you know what, folks? I actually saw a video. I saw in the news the other day, 2 eagles in the sewer, right? Like if anybody's familiar with America, you know, you have the street and you have the curb, and every so often in the curb, there's a hole that leads down to the sewer. It's a sewer drain. And these 2 eagles had gotten caught in the mouth of the sewer drain, right? And one of the eagles eventually was able to get out and fly away, and the other one actually fell in, and it took an hour to rescue the other eagle from the sewer drain. But how did these eagles end up in the sewer drain? Eagles are supposed to be up high. How did they end up so low? You ready? The people who watched them said they were fighting. They were fighting in midair. And they were fighting and they were fighting and they were fighting so much that they stopped flying. And they fell into the sewer drain. They fell from on high into down low. They allowed negativity low. And I got to ask you, are you an eagle? And will you allow negativity to bring you low? No matter what's going on around you guys, we got to make sure that we protect our mind from negativity and that we keep flying high. You know, and I know I'm recording this video literally just a few days after the election results 2016 in America. And a lot of people are upset about, you know, what the choice implies. And even though you might feel that way, my challenge to you, and I know this is easier said than done because I've had to personally, get to a place where I can get through it. I want to challenge you to protect yourself from negativity, and don't forget to keep flying. Keep yourself flying. All right. Keep yourself flying. Keep yourself, in the air, and protect yourself from negativity, from negative people. Right. The negativity is often going to come from the people closest to you. Life, that I only talk to 15 minutes at a time when I talk to them. That's all they get, because there's too much negativity. I put them on a countdown timer, right? Because I got to make sure I inoculate myself. It's like I got to wear a hazmat suit when I'm talking to them to make sure that the radioactive energy doesn't get on me. So protect yourself from negativity. All right. Here's the next one. Save your money. I'm saying it again. Save your money. If you want to be successful in life, you have to learn to save your money. It's been a hard lesson. I mean, this is one I've had to learn. It's so much easier said than done. In life, what happens is you're making a certain amount, and maybe let's say you're making $5,000 a month, and then you start making $6,000 a month. What do most people do? They upgrade their life so that now it takes $6,000 a month for them to live. Well, why did that happen? You were making it fine on $5,000 a month. What if they stayed living at $5,000 a month and they saved the extra $1,000? At the end of 12 months, they'd have $12,000 saved up. At the end of 2 years, they'd have $24,000 saved up, assuming that they didn't get any more increases and they didn't put it someplace where they can get some interest. And don't go investing until you have at least $100,000 saved up. You can't even be a player until you got $100,000 saved up. So in the meantime, you save up and you save up and you save up and you save up. I was talking to the young lady at T-Mobile the other day, and she says, she goes, she's newly married, 6 months now. She goes, okay, we're working to get a house. I said, well, why are you getting a house? She goes, because I want a yard. I said, oh, really? And she says, because everybody says you need to have a house. You need to own your own house. I said, well, let me ask you a question. What is it that you want for your future? She says, well, I want to open a shoe store. That's the business I want to do. I want to open a shoe store. I said, okay. I said, well, how much money do you need for your house? She says, well, to make sure everything is good, I need to save up $40,000. I said, so let me ask you a question. What is the return going to be on your $40,000 if you use it to buy a house? And this is not a trick question, folks. The return on the $40,000 is going to be zero for as long as she and her husband live in the house. A house is not an investment. I said, you know what? You'd be better off to continue to rent. And if you feel like you need a yard, rent a house with a yard. But take that $40,000 and open your business. And get the knowledge first and put the discipline into your business and turn that $40,000 into $400,000. And then you can buy whatever you want to buy, right? So you got to save your money. So many people, they upgrade their life way too fast. And see, here's the thing. When you want to be successful in business, you got to save your money, because what you're doing is you are buying yourself time to succeed. See, there's so many people that have the talent to succeed. They have the ability to succeed, but they can't succeed because they are too hamstrung by their bills and what it costs them to live, so that they can't go and they don't have the freedom to go chase their goals. You just think you take that same person and all of a sudden they've got $20,000 or $50,000 or $100,000 in the bank. Now they can make different decisions. Now they can chase different things. Now they can be creative and free and be able to do stuff. So my challenge to you guys is save your money. And when you save your money, each dollar that you save, what you're really doing is you're buying yourself time to succeed. You are lengthening the runway, the amount of time that you can go without maybe the income from a job, or with less income from a job, because maybe you go part-time, so instead of full-time at your job, so that you can work on your business part-time. Or maybe you save up enough money where you can just detach from your job and you got 12 months of money saved up, or maybe you got 2 years of money saved up. And now you can actually work and build your business and be all twisted up, worrying about how you're going to pay your bills, or not getting fired from your job, because if you get fired from your job, you know, you can't pay your bills. You see what I'm saying, guys? So save your money. Save it. Don't spend it all. Don't upgrade your lifestyle too fast. Use that opportunity to get ahead. All right, here's the last one. Here's the last one. You gotta work hard. You gotta be a beast. You gotta get into beast mode. You gotta grind it out. You gotta hustle. Listen, folks, you know, there's only one way to do it. I like my business partner, Samantha. She says, you got to be willing to deal with that 4-letter word. Work, right? You got to be willing to go to work. You got to be willing to get up every day and grind it out and be exhausted. I'm going to put this picture back up here. I mean, look at this guy, right? Look at this guy. Does he look like he's taking it easy, right? He is worn out. He is worn out. He's got nothing left. He gave it all. He's exhausted. He can barely breathe. He's dripping with sweat. Why? Because he gave it all. He put the hard work out, right? And that's why he's going to achieve his goal of athleticism. How are you going to achieve your goal? You got to work. So many people will join my team or join my business, and I got to coach them. But they don't put in the work. They don't show up. And you can't get the result without work, right? Whoever said work smart, not hard, man, forget that. You got to work smart and you got to work hard, right? Success is not going to come to those who are willing, who all they want to do is put in 40 hours a week and go to happy hour. Man, forget it. You're going to work for somebody else for the rest of your life. The people who succeed in this world, they have no boundaries of time. You know, I had one plan for myself yesterday, Saturday. I got up and worked out, whatever. I got a phone call, talked to my business partner, and you know what? I ended up working most of Saturday. Didn't think nothing of it. Why? Because we're in grind mode. We're in beast mode. We're in hustle mode. And when we succeed at the level that we want to succeed, it won't be a surprise to anybody. Because you know what they'll say? And they work their butts off. Somebody said they were lucky. And you know what we're going to say to them? No, we weren't lucky. We worked our butts off, right? So sometimes you don't get the results that you want because you don't work hard enough at it. Sometimes we don't have the relationship that we want with our spouse because we don't work hard enough at it. Sometimes we don't have the relationship we want with our kids because we're just not putting the work in. Sometimes we don't get the promotion at work or the raise at work because we're just simply not grinding it out hard enough. Sometimes our business doesn't do as well as we would like it to simply because we just don't work hard enough. You got to make sure that you're working hard, that you're doing the right work, that you're doing it in the right amounts at the right time, but that your effort, your work ethic is without challenge, that you leave it all on the playing field, that you give it all you got every single day. You got to be a beast. You got to hustle. So folks, that's it. That's what I have for us today. I mean, that's, you know, those are 10 things. I just gave you 10 things that can help you to be more successful in life, right? And these are lessons from my own life. None of this is theory. This is what has helped me to get to the level that I'm at, which is not the level that I want to get to, but it's the same things that are going to help me get to my next level, right? And so it's the same thing that's going to help you as well. So what am I hearing from folks out there? I got people saying, hey, they love this. They love this tea. Thank you. Success isn't overnight. It takes time and commitment. You got to master the mundane. I got folks telling me they got tons of videos stored in their playlist, like Kimberly, right? That's what I'm talking about. Become a student, right? Kim, I've watched some videos 5, 6, 10 times already, okay? You know, somebody said here, consider savings as funding your future. Way to go. So folks, I just want to challenge you guys. I hope this was really great for you. Bookmark it, subscribe, you know, get notifications. Watch this one over and over and over again. Share it with somebody that you know and you love and you care about, somebody else that you want to see win. For those of you who have teams in your network marketing company, those of you who are on our team, make sure your entire team watches this video. Because I promise you, when you see successful people, not successful, and when you see a lack of success in yourself, you can easily go to this list and you can identify the places where you're being held back. But also, when you finally achieve the success that you want, you'll be able to identify how you mastered these 10 things and totally changed everything for yourself. So stay tuned, folks, for more. We're going to keep providing great coaching, great value. We love everybody. I hope that this was great for you on a Sunday evening. I hope you watch this over and over and over again. And I really hope for each and every one of you and for everybody who's yet to watch this video that we can become as incredibly successful as we can be. God bless you guys. Have a great night. Watch this one over and over again.